Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktana ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Chavakuna Dakungi Gavadan ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Yakudam ki Yakpuridam ki Angamai ki Angamai ki Devi ki Bharani Devi ki Gaura Premanandi Vasudeva Satsuri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. For giving this opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, and I will speak for purification. This verse will help to purify my consciousness. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Ashtapaishu Abhadrishu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Utam Uttamashloke
Bhagavati Uttamashloke
Bhakti Bhakti Naishtiki
Bhakti Bhakti Naishtiki.
So we continue on this pastime. This is the 8th canto, Withdrawal of Material Cosmic Manifestation. Chapter 22, Bali Maharaj surrender his life, and now is verse 9. Kim atmana nena jahati yonata.
What was the verse yesterday, please?
28.2.
This was yesterday? Donc là on fait une def.
This is Pitama Vaishnav. Mahaprabhu Thakur Bali Maharaj.
C'est Kim Atmanan.
Kim atmana nena jahati yonata.
C'est ça.
This is what he said. Kim atmana nena jahati yonata.
Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yonata.
Kim rikta hare svajanakya dasyu bihi.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim jayaya samsriti hetu bhutaya.
Kim Jaya Samskriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Matyasya gehe kim haya yucho yaya.
Matyasya Yahi Kim Yaya.
Kim hatmana nena jahati yonata.
Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yonata.
Kim rekta hare svajanakya dasyubihi.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim jayaya samsriti hetu bhutaya.
Kim Jaya Samskriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Matyasya gehe kim iyayucho yaya.
Matyasya Gehe Kim Yaya.
Kim hatmana nena jahati yonata.
Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yonata.
Kim rikta hare svajanakya dasyubihi.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim jayaya samskriti hetu bhutaya.
Kim Jaya Samskriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Matyasya gehe kim iyayucho vyayaha.
Matyasya Gehe Kim Yaya. Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yontata.
Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yonata.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim Jaya Samskriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Kim Jayaya Samskriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Matyasya Gehi Kim Ihayusho Vyaya.
Matyasya Gehe Kim Iyayucho Vyaya.
Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yontata.
Kim Atmana Nena Jahati Yonata.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim Rikta Hare Svajanakya Dasubhi.
Kim Jayaya Samsriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Kim Jayaya Samskriti Hetu Bhutaya.
Matyasya Gehai Kim Ihayusho Vyaya.
Matyasya Gehe Kim Iyayucho Vyaya.
Kim Atmanena Jayati
tata.
Kimatmanena tata.
Riktai svajanakya dasyubi.
Kim riktai svajanakya dasyubi.
Jayaya samsmriti etu bhutaya.
Kim jayaya samsriti etu bhutaya.
Jasya gehai kim iyayusho vyaya.
Majasya gehai kim iyayusho vyaya.
Kimatmani yahati yonata.
Kimatmanena yayati yonata.
Kim rapta hare svanyapya dashuri.
Kim riktai svajanakya dasyubi.
Kim jaya smati hetu bhutya.
Kim jayaya samsriti etu bhutaya.
Yasa ye kim yasuyaya.
Majasya gehai kim iyayusho vyaya.
Mataji.
Kimatmanena yahati yonata.
Kimatmanena yahati yonata.
Kim rikta hare svajanakya dasyubi.
Kim riktai svajanakya dasyubi.
Kim jayaya samsriti hetu bhutaya.
Kim jayaya samsriti hetu bhutaya.
Ardasya gehai kim yayusho vyaya.
Majasya gehaya kim iyayusho vyaya.
Okay, translation word for word. Kim,
Kim,
what is the use?
what is the use
Atma anena
Atma
of this body.
of this body?
Jaati,
Jaati,
give up.
give up.
Ya, which body?
Body.
Antata,
Antata,
at the end of life.
at the end of life.
Kim,
Kim,
what is the use?
what is the use?
Riktahare,
Riktare,
the plunders of wealth.
the plunderers of wealth.
Svajana hakya dasyubihi,
Svajanakya dasyubi.
they who are actually plundered but who pass by the name of relatives.
They who are actually plunderers but pass by the name of relatives.
Kim,
Kim,
what is the use?
what is the use?
Jayaya,
Jayaya,
of a wife.
of a wife.
Samskriti etu bhutaya,
Sanskriti etu bhutaya,
with the source of increasing material condition.
with the source of physical conditions.
I'm just reading Srimad Bhagavatam.
Be careful with
Mahatyasya, of a person sure to die.
Of a person sure to die.
Gehe, of house,
Of houses,
family and community.
family and community.
Kim,
Kim,
what is the use?
what is the use?
Iha,
Iha,
in which house?
in which house?
Ayucha,
Ayusha,
of the duration of life.
of the duration of life.
Vyaya,
Jaya,
simply wasting.
simply wasting.
So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. What is the use of the material body, which automatically leaves its owner at the end of life? And what is the use of all one's family members who are actually plunderers, taking away money that is useful for the service of the Lord in spiritual opulence? What is the use of a wife? She is only the source of increasing material condition. And what is the use of family, home, country, and community? Attachment for them merely wastes the valuable energy of one's lifetime. Would you like to repeat?
No.
It's a long.
Okay.
At the end after the purport.
Purport. Is giving this AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada is giving the mercy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna advised Sarva Dhamman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. Give up all other varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. The common man does not appreciate such a statement by the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he thinks that during his lifetime his family, society, country, body and relatives are everything. Why should one give up any one of them and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? But from the behavior of great personality like Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj, we understand that surrendering to the Lord is the right action for an intelligent person. Prahlad Maharaj took shelter of Vishnu against the will of his father. Similarly, Bali Maharaj took shelter of Vamanadev against the will of his spiritual master Shukla Acharya and all the leading demons. People may be surprised that devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj could seek shelter of the sight of the enemy, giving up the natural affinity for family, earth and home. In this connection, Bali Maharaj explained that the body, which is the center of all material activities, is also foreign elements. Even though we want to keep the body fit and helpful to our activities, the body cannot continue eternally. Also, I am the soul, which is eternal. After using the body for some time, I have to accept another body. Tata Deantara. According to the law of nature, unless I render some service with the body for advancements in devotional service. One should not use the body for any other purpose. One must know that if he uses the body for any other purpose, he is simply wasting his time. For as soon as the time is right, the soul will automatically leave the body. We are very interested in society, friendship and love, but what are they? Thus in the garb of friend and relative, merely plunder the hard-earned money of the bewildered soul. Everyone is affectionate toward his wife and is attached to her. But what is this wife? The wife is called Stri, which means one who explains the material condition. If a person lives without a wife, his material conditions are less extensive. As soon as one marries, he is connected with a wife, his material necessities increase. Pumsastriya mituni bhavam etam, tayo mito hidaya glantim haur, atoviyak shetram sutta tamiter, janasya mahoyam aham rameti. The attraction between male and female is a basic principle for material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the earth of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusion and thinks in terms of I and mine. Human life is meant for self-realization, not for increasing unwanted things. Actually, a wife increases unwanted things. One lifetime, one's home, and everything one has, if not properly used in the service of the Lord, are all sorts of material conditions of perpetual suffering under the threefold misery: Adhyatmika, Adhibhotika, and Adhidevika. Unfortunately, there is no institution in human society for education on this subject. Shri Shri Nitai Sita Jai Shri Jagat Parisvara Mandir Shri Shri Radha Parisisvara Mandir. People are kept in darkness about the goal of life, and thus there is a continuous struggle for existence. We speak of survival of the fittest, but no one survives, for no one is free under material condition. Shri Chaitanya Mano Visham Stapitam Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri
Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam
Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Vishya Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Sadhana Navitana Shri Vishakam Sha Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamam Jagatpate Upesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suteri Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prasradine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Shatayine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
For the pleasure of your heart and your ear, I read again the verse. What is the use of the material body which automatically leaves its owner at the end of life? And what is the use of all one's family members who are actually plunder, taking away money that is useful for the service of the Lord in spiritual opulence? What is the use of a wife? She is only the source of increasing material conditions. And what is the use of family, home, country, and community? Attachment for them merely was the valuable energy of one's lifetime. So now we can understand why there is a few cantos before the 8th canto. We have to become purified before reading the 8th canto. We should not jump straight to the 8th canto. We should first become purified. And by purification, like Krishna, don't straight from the beginning surrender unto me. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. But he instructs Arjuna on many topics before saying this. This is a conclusion. And when we arrive to this conclusion and we apply in our life, we can start to read Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we read all the first canto, we can come to the 8, 9, and 10 canto who are more advanced, we can say. This is withdrawal of cosmic manifestation, so is already on the process to renounce to material life, renounce to all our attachment in material life. Prabhupada explained many times there is two ways. There is probability and nihility. We have to know that in our Sampradaya, we are advised to follow the path of nihility, to come to this path. But probability can help us to come to the path of nibbity. So priority is to learn, is to take enjoyment. At the beginning, we try to get straight pleasure with our body. And nibbity is the way to become free of material gratification, material sense gratification. So when we become free, we can renounce to this material world. But to come to this, we have to first engage all our possession in the service of the Lord. And Bali Maharaj is the best example of this, because he never complained when He never complained when Vamanadev took everything away. And I think it's interesting to remember how we came to this pastime, because it's connected with the idea of the wife who increased the material necessities. At the beginning, there was Aditi and Kashyapa Muni. And the demon, by the great sacrifice of Bali Maharaj to worship the Brahmana and worship his guru, he got all the material universe, the free world, because of his austerity. And the demigod became very worried, and the mother of the demigod, Aditi, was very affected by this. And when Kashyapa Muni, he didn't really care for this. He was just satisfied by the happiness of the Atma, of the realization, the self-realization. So when he came back from his austerity, he saw his wife, and his wife was really affected, and his wife started to ask, "Oh, my dear husband, how I can save my sons, they lost everything." So this is exemplification of this verse. Usually women want the welfare of their son, the welfare of the husband, and they see this welfare in terms of material opulence. We can say, at least for material conditioned person. We should not compare this to Mataji with fully engaged in devotional service. This is concerning for someone with woman who is very attached to material opulence. So in general, Srimad Bhagavatam says us that women are more attached to material opulence and are more tendency to accumulate wealth. This is why they are called Stri. Prabhupada is called in the purport. And women, donc Stri, women, one who expands the material condition. So that's this tendency, and we can see in maybe in our life. For example, we was going this weekend. We was in Lyon, in Villashta family, and the husband said us, "My wife always increases the material opulence, and she always need more. One shoes is not enough. 2 pair of shoes not enough. 3 pair of shoes, okay, maybe it's not. Maybe more is better." So they always need more opulence. Generally, I say for material. I say this is for material. Please don't curse me, please. Otherwise I will lose all my material opulence if you curse me. And I will be happy. So in general, this is how it's happened in material life. And we can see when we go in the street, usually in the shopping, when we distribute books, women have 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bag, And when you ask them for 1-2 euro for a small book, they say, "Oh, I don't have enough." So this is a general tendency, and they have this tendency to increase material opulence, to find this satisfaction, this happiness through material opulence. But the men usually have more this tendency to renounce to material opulence. At least in this Vedic time, we can say. Maybe nowadays everything is mixed. There is no much difference between men and women, maybe. But this is a tendency in spiritual life. Also, the man will have more tendency to have this attitude to renounce to material life, to don't want to entangle in anymore in this material life. When we start to chant Hare Krishna, to follow the teaching of Prabhupada, we can feel in our life that maybe before we was attached as a woman to material opulence, but very quickly we get also the mercy of the Acharya and Sampradaya, and we become more detached. We feel we can live with just little prasadam, chanting Hare Krishna, a bed, and that's all we really need. So this is how we should also go in our life. And this is not because we just want to renounce to material life, but because we want to have more time for spiritual activity. This is the main thing. To renounce to material opulence, to renounce to all this activity of family affair. This is not for just renouncement. This is for having more time to spiritual life. And we can see this in the teaching of Vidura to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was, we say, he was blind, spiritually blind. And after the war of Kurukshetra, even if he lost everything, he could not renounce, even if the Lord took him everything, like Vamanadev took everything from Bali Maharaj. But Dhritarashtra didn't bow down in front of the Lord and ask to Krishna to put his feet on his head. He was very attached to material life, and he took shelter even in the enemy. He took shelter in the Pandava at the end of the Kurukshetra, the war of Kurukshetra, because all his family was died during the war, so he just took shelter. And when Vidura came back from his pilgrimage, he teach him about his really horrible situation. And one verse in this teaching is Evam Yeshu Saktanam Pramatanam Tad Aya Atyakramad Avigyata Kala Paramadustara. This verse says that this person who are too much attached to family affair, the time is they are, I don't remember exactly how it said, but they lose the time will take them, will take their life. And because when we have a family, it takes a lot of time to take care of family, to raise money for growing the son, for having the griya, the home, the house, everything takes time. And the time for spiritual activity becomes really less in our spiritual life. So this is why we should take this decision really seriously, with intelligence. We should not just engage in this Vyashta ashram without considering what will be the impact in spiritual life. We should first realize that spiritual life is the only goal of our life, of the soul. We don't need this material life. Is just can help to support our spiritual life, but we should never lose this goal of spiritual activity, developing our spiritual consciousness. So Vidura said to Dhritarashtra, why you are taking shelter into the enemy, the enemy of your family? They kill all your husband, all your family, and you cannot even renounce. You have to take shelter. Now you have to renounce to this matter. Like you have to take shelter into God, into Krishna, and he really chastised him. So for some person who are spiritual blind, they need chastisement to realize this fact that we are too much attached in this activity of material activity and we lose our time. But a spiritual intelligence person, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yagye Sankirtana Praya Yajanti I Sumedasa. This person who have really fine intelligence, they engage their time in Yagye Sankirtana Praya, in the sacrifice of Sankirtan. This is the real activity of the soul. Everything else is the activity of the body. Everything which is not for glorifying the Lord is the activity of the body, and it will entangle us. So all activity should be done for Yagye Sankirtana Praya, for glorifying the Lord. And why we do this Yagye Sankirtana Praya? It is for Cheto Dalpana Mahajanam, to purify the dust from our mind, to realize that we are not the body, but we are the spirit soul, beyond this material body. And when we realize this, we will see how this temporary thing of family affair and house and material opulence are useless, and progressively we become detached of it and we become more attached to practice Yagye Sankirtana Praya. So this is our goal is not just to say women are less intelligent, women are more attached to material life. A woman who is fully engaged in Yagye Sankirtana Praya is better than a man who renounced to material life but is not engaged in Yagye Sankirtana Praya. And today, by the mercy of Prabhupada, he engaged all women and men in this Yagye Sankirtana Praya without distinction of a man and woman. So nowadays, this movement, men or women, should not be considered in terms of men and women. This is only the material body. The soul is not man or woman. And actually the soul is always prakriti towards the Purusha. So we are all women on terms of spiritual body. So why we are not here to say that women are less intelligent or men are more intelligent. We are here to say that men or women, we are made to serve the Lord by doing Yagye Sankirtana Praya. And we can see that women are sometimes more intelligent than women. We can see this in the pastime of Krishna, when he sent his cowboy to ask for some food to the Brahmana who was engaged in sacrifice. And the man was really renounced, really austere, and engaged in his yagya. And when the Gopal came to them and asked for some food for Krishna, they said, no, we are engaged in the service of Vishnu, we are doing sacrifice, we cannot give you this food. So they reject to serve Krishna because they are attached to the rule and regulation of doing sacrifice. But when they came back, the Gopal came back to Krishna and Balaram, and Krishna said, go to ask to the wife of the Brahmana, ask them that it is for Krishna who wants some food. And when they go back and they went to the woman just took everything from the sacrifice that the Brahmana kept. They took everything and they gave everything to the Gopa for bringing to Krishna and Balaram. And they didn't care for anything. They know that serving Krishna is better than doing this yagya. So this is our movement. Our movement is not to say man or woman. Women have this quality to be very sensible, very more on maybe emotional platform, and maybe can develop more this tendency toward bhakti. And actually in book distribution I have this experience that it's easier to distribute books to women than men also. So maybe the men use more the intelligence, use more the activity of the intelligence, but we are not just a path of jnana yoga, of cultivating knowledge. This knowledge should help us to develop bhakti, and only by bhakti we can know Krishna. This is the teaching of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So this verse that we read today is maybe very strong, but it's just to help us that we should not lose our time, but we should keep all our time for serving Krishna and not lost our time for accumulating wealth, accumulating children, wife, all this. The wife is here and the husband is here only to help us to serve the Lord, to increase our service towards the Lord. So we can see, and I will just finish on this because this is a really nice example of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was the perfection of this engaging all his time and energy for preaching Srimad Bhagavatam and the glories of Krishna. And because of this, he translates the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we know all this pastime that his wife sold the Srimad Bhagavatam. No, what? What she did, I forgot now. She sold the Srimad Bhagavatam
to get some
buying
tea.
And when Prabhupada saw this, he just get out of this situation. Tea is say tea of me. And she answered tea, so say goodbye. So this is the example of this verse. This is a perfect example, Prabhupada. Our time should be used not for tea, not for house, not for a good position in society, but should be used for distributing Srimad Bhagavatam and the glories of the Lord. This is the real use of our time. And Prabhupada exemplified it. And this verse should help us to understand it and try to surrender everything in our life in the service of the Lord. All our time, all our opulence, all our attachment, everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. And by doing it, we don't want anymore to have this attachment, because the mirror of the mind will be clean by this activity. So I hope I didn't offend any one of you. I tried to do it to give the medicine in the good, sweet way, not too harsh. The Acharya can speak very strongly, but me, I can just try to serve by understanding the word of the Acharya. I cannot speak as Prabhupada. So I try to give it as sweet as possible. So if you have some comment or question,
But I was reading yesterday, chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, and in the verse where Krishna defined everything that is knowledge and then everything that is not this knowledge is ignorance. In the purport, Prabhupada actually he make a point about what you just spoke about, and if anyone wants to read it, I'll read it and during the day. Or
He speak about this.
yeah, he said at the end that maybe I'm not going to read everything. Everyone can read if they want to read that. He says that by molding family life in a way that everything is around Krishna consciousness. Even said at the end, the last sentence, if one, this is all about words, if one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, following these 4 principles, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. That's a fact.
And I was thinking, in this time I was thinking of the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Also when I read this verse, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is perfect personification of this. He was using everything for the service of the Lord, and in the family life with a lot of children, and he never give up his endeavor to serve the Lord, and he was fully engaged in his family life also. So this is possible, but he asked for a really good intelligence, and this is why whatever choice you want to do in the future is really good to take some time in our life in this brahmachari, just to make our brain more fine, to not fall in this trap of family attachment. Whatever austerity we do now in our brahmacharya ashram, it will be a great benefit for all our life. And even if later we marry or not marry, whatever, this is a great yagya to do, because it helps us to develop this fine tissue of the brain and to not fall in this trap. And maybe we can have a family of good Vaishnav and use everything for the service of the Lord in our family life.
Hare Krishna. Yes, when you shared about the position of women and how they can be fully engaged in this Sankirtan Yaga and not to be compared with materialistic women. I remember how Keshava Maharaj was glorifying the relationship between Prabhupada and his women disciples, which are all compiled in a book, I think called Women and Masters. Anyway, and I remember he was sharing, which struck my mind, one episode about Malati Mataji, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. She used to cook for him. And I found the exact word that she said, and I wanted to share it with you. It will be short. So there was one episode when she was sitting at the end. She was called in the room to bring the lunch, and so she says, "I went to make the lunch and I brought it in. He was sitting at the end of the room like a royal king, and on each side of him were old, stately Vaishnavas with dandas. It was an impressive sight. I felt completely intimidated, but I had to go in. I entirely covered my head and hands with my sari, and I got down on the floor on my hands and knees. I curled in with the plate, put it down, offered obeisances, and started slithering back out. Then I heard Srila Prabhupada say, 'Yes, she cooks for me, and all I do is criticize her. But she would slit her throat for me, and I would do the same for her.' When he said that, I completely disintegrated. By the time I got to the other door, my sari was wet with my tears. I realized how mundane my consciousness had been and how my anxiety had been based upon a misunderstanding of the relationship between the guru and the disciple. Every day I had been thinking, how can I do it perfectly? What would he want? And he was telling me. He was not criticizing me. It was just taking it in a mundane way. But because I wanted to know how it could be more pleasing to him, he told me. I was in illusion as to the position of a disciple and what the relationship of servitude meant.
Wow.
How Srila Prabhupada was very able to...
Loving.
Yeah, he's loving, you know.
It's not like a domination. It's a difference between relation in material life. There's always this tendency to dominate the other. Everyone wants to be Purusha. But in spiritual life, everyone wants to be Prakriti, want to serve. And Prabhupada is a perfect exemplification of this. It's not that he wanted to abuse his disciples or exploit the disciples. He wanted to love them, and by engaging them in the service, he was loving them, not exploiting them. This is really important for us to understand, because when we preach, we should have this in our heart also. We should not try to exploit and think we are better than the other. We have better religion, we have better knowledge. This is not the tendency of our acharya. The tendency of the acharya is to try to serve others by helping them in their faith, in their religion, to improve their attachment to our God. So this is, Prabhupada is very beautiful to read this. Any other comment or question?
The battle between Krishna and Prashadana.
Between?
There's a battle within ourselves between Christians and Prashadana.
Yeah, in our heart. So what we should use? What we should choose?
I also have a question, because
Okay.
the last thing,
So you choose
the last
question,
thing,
you choose Krishna Kata.
Let's do it. You say, we don't say like, we don't think we have better knowledge than others. Or is it that we don't have better knowledge, or is it that we don't become like, it's not our knowledge, it's everyone's knowledge, but in a way, it's just a question, like, is it
Okay.
Krishna consciousness is not like a little bit like, I mean, it's more deep. It's not that we have to become proud of it. It's not a goal, but it's my question. Is Krishna consciousness is like super nice.
Our consciousness that any knowledge given by God is the best, and that anyone who is really sincere in his faith have this intelligence given by God. And my understanding, at least, maybe I don't have the best knowledge, is that Vyasadeva gave the best knowledge, but we didn't realize this best knowledge. So we should, like the Acharya, say, this is the best knowledge, but I don't have this knowledge. So please take it, but I don't have it. So we keep humility for glorifying this, for glorifying Vyasadeva and this best knowledge. Like this, we have the good attitude of service, and we're not offending the knowledge given by Vyasadeva is the best, but we didn't realize it. I like to do like this. People say, I'm Christian, it's really good, you're Christian. So maybe this book can help you to become better Christian. And to give to you, help me also to become a better Christian. So whatever, we are here for worshipping God, and Christ is here to help us to worship God. By serving these Christians, I'm improving my life also. So, thank you very much for helping me in my Krishna consciousness. Please forgive me if I did any offense in reading this verse. I was a little bit worried about reading this verse. But Krishna helped me from inside. Sorry for any offense. Shila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Shila Prabhupada.
So I was supposed to come and I saw you there. Thank you so much. I didn't get to.